Recently, I applied for a fellowship to learn more about venture capitalism. Though I did not make it to the next round, I consider this process as a great learning experience because I had to answer a few questions. One of them got me thinking. What is the one thing you are most proud of, personally or professionally? That I am a self taught person. I never had a single tuition in any subject during my academic years, science in class 12, arts during graduation. This mixture kind of hints at my whole brain traits. My success and my failures are my own and no scapegoats there. From a very young age, I was very particular not to invest a single penny in any pursuit if I could not gauge what I can make out of it. So MBA was ruled out. Instead, I chose to open and run a boutique as a pet project for a little over 5 years to understand basics of business, sourcing, marketing, sales, retail, and accounts, rather than be certified to manage others' business. Proprietorship was too much responsibility, particularly with a night job as a quality analyst in a IT enabled services company. In 2012, when I moved from Bangalore city to the suburbs for a laid back lifestyle, I opted to wind up the boutique. This whole thing was based on self-learning model without a single mentor. My longest tenure in a company was 11 years, where I grew from customer service executive to transition specialist. Every 2 years, I made it a point to look for internal job transfers to keep the self learning mechanism active. I covered quality, operations, pre sales, bid management, leadership training, leveraged auditor, and transition management. And when I thought I was ready for a sabbatical, I quit. Selling products, services, skills is relatively easy. Now was the time to sell my personal conviction, alternate learning and earning models. I was keener to add skills and value to my role than zeros to my paycheck. This 360-degree experience across departments went a long way to shape my thinking and financial goals. The company mandate was to complete 40 hours of training every year. I used to complete that in the first quarter and happily engaged in many extra hours. In BPO environment as a transition manager, my responsibility was to successfully migrate new business from client to our premises and support operations till they reached steady state. This was a demanding role that entailed frequent travel. When learning and development team approached me to facilitate a few leadership trainings, I agreed, little knowing that was the stepping stone to what I will do in my later years. I must have facilitated over 20 trainings, though my primary role was completely different. In return, the company let me buy self development and management books for thousands of rupees. I just loved this arrangement. Facilitating and reading were both my favorite jobs. Consequent to all that hands on learning, after retirement from corporate, I ventured to global market to support the startup ecosystem. I now have over 60 global clients that paid for my skills. The theme of my financial literacy is one's wealth accumulation tendency does not depend on what one earns. It is what one does with what they earn that contributes to their net worth. The down payment of my first home was based on my earnings from tutoring for 6 years. My sense of accomplishment does not lie in my investments in 4 properties across 2 cities in 7 years, but in retiring from corporate at 42, which I had planned when I was 28 years old. That is when I first began my side hustle, trading self designed clothes for women with a couple of friends. Living alone in a metropolitan city for over a decade was an institution in itself for self learning. Whether it is self publishing a book, a collection of short stories, which is still in leading book houses in Bangalore, or creating awareness on dementia by first selling the idea of registering a foundation to 11 members and getting their buy in is all part of self learning mindset. So I take immense pride in my self learning attitude in both personal and professional grounds. As an eternal student of life, every phase in my life is another chapter, and I am keen to pursue to understand each of this end to end. Our startup project has self learning and multiple intelligence at its core essence. While most companies sell the function, training, coaching, mentoring, facilitating to individuals and corporations, we sell outcomes. If self learning got me here, though I failed twice during graduation, survived corporate without an MBA, I firmly believe alternate models of learning is for everyone. That's my ikigai today, as I remain perched at the tip of Maslow's hierarchy pyramid of needs, assisting others to find theirs.